Yeah, I mean, I think it's a great opportunity for our city of Nashville to welcome a team, Aston Villa, who's a top level team and probably arguably the best league in the world, the Premier League. It's a great opportunity for soccer fans specifically in Nashville, and very importantly, I think it's really a great opportunity for our club in Geodis Park to host that. It's an exciting chance for us to sort of have the opportunity to compete against some of the best players in the world. And for us as a team and us as competitors and our guys, young and old and across the whole squad, I think everyone's sort of looking forward to this chance to get out and compete. That's what we like to do. And if we have a weekend that we're not playing an MLS game, well, why not welcome them in, give them and welcome them to Nashville and give them our best shot.
And Coach, we'll start with Julian and go down the line. And if you have two, go ahead.
You haven't lost many matches over this crazy stretch you guys are on, but how have they responded since the loss from this past week?
Yeah, I mean, we're from San Diego. We were able to obviously take a couple of days off. We got back into training, right back into the process of how we do. We go about things. It's been nice to be able to focus on ourselves for a little bit. When you play a lot of games, you're constantly, and every 3 days, you're sort of always looking towards the next opponent. So we had a nice opportunity to just kind of reset, look at some things that we want to improve. Increase the competition in the group. I think this game versus Aston Villa allows that. And then we'll turn our eye to St. Louis.
How important is this to just you got 2 road matches right after this to, I guess, work out the things you need to work out before you hit the road again?
I mean, I think anytime you have the chance to compete, I think we'll use a lot of our guys. So guys have been wanting minutes. This is a chance for them. Guys that need minutes, this is a chance for them. And again, I think it allows us to continue to develop everybody on the roster, because as we go into the final 9 games of the season, we don't know who's going to need to step up. Those are things that we don't control, but what we do control is our preparation so that everybody's ready. And the game versus Aston Villa gives us a chance to compete and make sure that guys will be ready for the stretch.
Catherine?
I'm good, thank you.
Claudio?
Coach, you already stated some of the obvious, which is how different is the British Premier League compared to MLS in history, years, and all that stuff. But I mean, maybe 2 questions in one. Is it a friendly anymore? I mean, is it a friendly game anymore in soccer when you have so many things to show? I mean, between leagues, between players, and distances have been shortened a little bit, anyways. What do you say about that?
I mean, the word friendly, I think, is that the result doesn't impact anything other than going out and competing. We'll never compete any less, but certainly it's a different filter on how you go about decision making. Even the rules of the game are different in the sense that we can make more subs and use more players. So I think just from the way that we approach the game, guys are going to get opportunities to play, and we may try a couple different things, but when the whistle blows, we're all competitors, and we're going to compete to the best of our ability. It's just that the end result doesn't have there's no consequence to the end result.
Now, in terms of what Emery does with his teams and tactically, his setup and the way he sets his team up, what are you looking for in terms of having your guys play against, particularly in the field?
Yeah, I mean, listen, he's a great coach. He's a coach that I've studied a lot from afar. Their ability to play through the lines and try to play through you is something that we're going to have to be really, I would say, cognizant of, and they do a really good job of that. The mobility that they're able to provide in behind your midfield line, in front of your back line, and turn and kind of run at your back line. So it'll be a challenge for us, but I think one that we'll take as an opportunity to compete, but at the same time we'll certainly take an opportunity to learn and grow.
BJ, you've talked a little bit about just a lot of guys playing and kind of just being able to make more changes during the game. I'm curious just how you're approaching this in terms of wanting to have a consistent schedule where you're playing a rhythm of matches and getting guys out there, but also keeping everybody in the best possible spot for the next 9 games.
Yeah, that's exactly how we're going to approach it. So I think you're going to see, almost the whole roster be used. That's intentional. It's part of sort of the periodization that we're going through. At the same time, to make sure that guys are rested and not only rested, but also in a sense of staying sharp with the right volume as we sort of head into the last 9 games.
And then I know you've talked about just one of the goals for the season is being able to put yourself in a position to compete against like the top teams in North America. And I know this is a friendly and not North America, but kind of how do you view this kind of this game in that lens?
Yeah, I think it's a rare opportunity that you get, right? So you have to make the most of it. And certainly they are, not only they, obviously in the Premier League, they do really well in the Premier League. So you're talking about a top 4 to 16, and so with a top level players, a top level manager. So for us, I think it's just kind of a good experience in that sense of saying, okay, hey, where do we rank? Where do we compete well with? What are areas that we need to improve? So I think like I said, from the whole beginning of this, for our club, this is going to be a great opportunity for the whole club. But at the same time, like, we're going to go out and compete the way we do and play the way that we do, and not really, look to change.
Jacob on Zoom? You may be muted, Jacob. Any other questions in the room?
I just got one here that might be, you're a coach, of course, and the first thing is to coach your team, and maybe why not try to earn a victory here. But as a football fan, actually, I want to ask you, is there a particular player on these type of things that you say, I want to see playing live in front of me?
There's a few guys, yeah. Listen, I think a lot of people might lean towards like an Ollie Watkins or like even like a guy that's come up for a while, Tyrone Mings, something like that. But McGinn for me is like I have a ton of respect for his consistency, the way his IQ, the way he moves around the field and manipulates space, and how it's almost like he's playing 2-3 passes ahead, and that's just from watching from afar. So yeah, for me, he's a guy that'll be really fun to sort of be part of, to look at and watch.
I want to ask. I think a lot of people point to like the speed of play and decision making is kind of like the big difference between the Premier League and a lot of other leagues. Do you feel like that's kind of the case, and what kind of separates them in your mind?
I think that's a byproduct of just the technical capacity of the players, right? So there's the technical level across the board is really high from all the players in all positions, and then that is the cause and effect of why you see players be able to play at a faster speed of play, and make decisions quicker. So I think that's something I'm sure will be on display.
We'll go back to Jacob.
Yeah. BJ, I guess, what do you hope to learn about your team going into the last 9-10 games of the MLS season and the US Open, just from playing a team like Aston Villa in a friendly?
Yeah, I mean, I think when you're able to try to play the way you want to against really good competition, I don't know what they like iron sharpens iron. So we're going to learn a lot about the group and players and how they can compete, and then we'll be able to take those learning lessons and start to apply it in they'll probably challenge us in maybe different ways than some opponents that we've played do, and so there'll be new learning lessons for us, and then that only strengthens our group as a whole as we look to go towards the last 9 games. And I mean that not only from like a tactical level, but also, again, giving players opportunities to compete for positions and real game minutes. That's only going to pay dividends as we go through this last 9-game stretch to earn our way into the MLS playoffs. And when guys' numbers are going to get called or opportunities arise, then we would expect them to be ready and step up like we've shown all year.
And what do you expect just from the atmosphere, Gio, this on Saturday, just with a Premier League team coming to town?
My hope is that we get a great turnout. Again, it's a great opportunity for the city and Nashville soccer fans, and also give them a real nice Nashville welcome, and then they're supporting us, right? We want to be gracious hosts, but at the same time, Geodis has been a fortress. We've played really well there, and we should show them that what our soccer city here is all about, and do it in a really and support our team in a really passionate way.
All right, thank you, Coach. Thanks, guys. We'll be right back with Ahmed Qasim.